Hello everybody and welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to be talking a little bit about my belt kit and why I really like it. Before I get started, I know people don't like belt kits. There's a lot of people out there who really don't like them. That's fine, you know, it's a personal choice. I really do like them. There's a few reasons for this. One, it means that I can keep all of my equipment on a belt in the top of my bag so that when I arrive at camp I can take it out of the top of my bag, put it on, and I've immediately got all my tools and equipment that I need around camp on my person. The other reason that I really like having my belt kit is it means that I don't have to have loads of stuff in my pockets. I hate having tons and tons of stuff in my pockets. So at the minute I've got like my sound recording device in there, my phone in there, which is doing a bit of recording as well. But the equipment that I actually require is all in this pouch and on the belt itself. I've got everything from firelighting stuff to things that I might need for foraging to some food and some other little bits and pieces of equipment. Also means like when the belt is on, it kind of creates a bit of a barrier to stop my shirt riding up, especially when it's cold. So it adds just that little tiny bit of insulation, and it does give you like the smallest bit of back support because I've got a very wide belt on this. Another thing I really like about having a belt kit is if I don't want it on my person, I can strap it to a tree by my tarp, so I then have a dedicated tool space at my camp. That can be really invaluable. I don't know whether any of you guys have done it, but it's really easy to be working away at something and then put your tool down and then suddenly it's vanished and you have to spend an hour looking for it. Happens a lot of the time with fire strikers and ferro rods, but I've done it myself with my moor knife because it's in that really nice green camouflage sheath. But when I've got it all on my belt, that isn't going to happen because it all just goes straight back to where it was, and it just allows you to be a little bit more organised with it all. The other reason I like having a separate belt kit is because it means that it's a separate belt. It's not attached to the belt which is holding my trousers up. I used to always have it on that belt to minimise what I had, but I found that I was like constantly having to pull up my trousers and they were always falling down. It was uncomfortable. Everything was a little bit too low. So this sits on my waist rather than my hips, so everything's at a really comfortable position to get at. So let's have a closer look at what I've actually got on this belt kit. So I've laid the belt kit out on the ground here just so you can see everything in a little bit of detail. It's not an expansive belt kit, it's just got the stuff that I need on it. The belt, to start with, is a nice thick, wide leather belt with thick leather on it. And I've chosen one with these like slidey bits on it just because they're good for attaching little bits and pieces to. I could not tell you the brand of this belt at all because it came from a charity shop, so it was just one that I picked up for a couple of quid, and yeah, that's the belt itself. Over here we've got my BHK Bushcrafter, which you can see does get a lot of use. The scabbard's looking a little bit battered now, the sheath, sorry, so it's a little loose in there. Need to get that sorted out. And I've arranged this and the saw, which we'll get to in a minute, as fixed on the loop rather than danglers. You can still see I've got the dangler attached here. The reason that I've done that for both of these is it got quite annoying when they were kind of flapping around when I was moving, so I've just fixed them up on the belt and it is so much more comfortable. Attached to the knife sheath I've got a ferro rod and striker, which are also attached to their own piece of cord, and this here is just a quick release thing in case I need a little bit of extra length on it. But this bit of cord is springy, thanks to Fraser for that if you're watching. It gives me plenty of room. I can get my fire going with that, no trouble. And that's all attached separately as well as to the knife, so that there's no risk of that coming out. The last thing I want is to lose my ferro rod out in the woods. I do carry a spur, but I really like this one. So it's attached here, and that's also got like a little drop loop on it, which is attached separately to the cord. So even if it pops out for whatever reason, it's going to stay attached to my belt, and I'll notice it whacking against my leg, so I can just put it straight back in. Moving over here, we've got my Baco Laplander saw. We all know what one of them is, don't need to give you any detail about it. It's well used now, and that is in my sheath, which was made by Paul Dorr. He makes incredible, beautiful leather work. I'm starting to like the fact that this is getting that used look on it now. I don't like the way that fresh stuff looks. I like it to look used. And then over here, we have my belt pouch, again by Paul Dorr. He made this for me. So we've got the Forester Bushcraft logo just on the top there. This thing is so useful. It's the only thing that I've got on the drop loops because it just makes it a little bit more easily accessible. It's got a nice simple Viking style clasp on it rather than a buckle because it's just quick and easy to access. And in here I've got a sturdy pair of leather gloves, the other gloves inside. I have some bank line, a long piece of bank line and some cord so I can immediately get a shelter set up and not have to faff around looking for that stuff. I also have a small snack bar, so I've just always got some food on me, which is great in emergency situations, but mainly because I eat a lot. And in here I've also got a small notebook, and somewhere I have 1, 2 small pencils. So it's one pencil that I've snapped in half and sharpened up, so if I kind of lose one, I've still got the other, and a nice short pencil fits in there perfectly. Pencil's much better than pen in the outdoors. This is quite a hard one, it's a HB, generally use a 2B. But having a notepad with you is really useful for just taking notes of stuff, particularly when I'm filming. I'll take notes about the films that I've done, or ideas that I've got, or things that I've learned. So if I'm doing plant and tree ID, I can just write down stuff that I've learned in here. But yeah, I really like this little notepad. It was actually a gift. If you're wondering what the flash is, that is Josh, who's helping me out today. So this notepad, I'm just going to show you it. It's completely relevant to the video. It's pretty cool because this was made by one of the children that I teach when she left, and here I've got a little picture of me with my belt kit on. That's me. That's me. And then it's a thank you, love, Alexia. I absolutely love that, so I keep it with me now because it just cheers me up when it's miserable outside. And there's a little note. A little note on the inside of the book as well. So I'm going to keep hold of this notebook, and it fits absolutely beautifully inside this pouch. It's nothing, there's no special paper or anything in there. I don't really go in for any of that stuff. The pouch keeps it dry enough. I don't need it to be a kind of write anywhere notepad. They are nice, but you know, they're expensive and they don't have little messages in them from the people you teach. So yeah, that is everything that I keep on my belt kit, and currently I'm really happy with it, and it all is just self-contained in there. Oh, one thing that I did forget to mention, I also have some ball bearings in here. I'm not going to get them out now, you don't need to see ball bearings, but they're just ammo if I'm out with my catapult doing a bit of shooting. And they just sit in the bottom of the bag. Generally, if I'm actually out shooting, of course, I empty the pouch so it's quicker access. And that just fastens up like so. And there we go, that can go on easy, and I've got everything that I need. I think the only thing that I now really want to add to this belt kit, I've been thinking about it, I'm not sure whether I'm going to go for it, but I probably am going to try it, let's be honest, is I would really like a belt loop for a small hatchet, something that holds the head firmly to the belt, and then the handle can sit against my leg quite comfortably there. I've got a bit of a bulge in the pocket there, that's my sound recorder, but when I've not got stuff in my pockets, it'll sit quite nicely there, and then that's pretty much the only tool that I'm missing on my belt kit. But I don't know whether it might be a bit too much, so I'll give it a try and I'll let you know how I get on. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, I hope you've got something from it, maybe you've taken some ideas away from it. I'd love to know if you've got your own belt kit set up and what you've got that's different to mine, or things that you'd add to it. Oh, there is one other thing actually that I forgot to mention. There is one other item that is of absolute importance that I do generally keep on my belt. I haven't got it on me today because we've got a big first aid kit with us, because there's the two of us, so we've got like a large one. When I'm out on my own, or when I'm actually at a camp, we're just out for the day today, I always carry a small first aid kit on me. Nothing too extensive, just like cuts, bruises, scrapes, you know, stuff like that, bits and pieces that you might need, like a little tick card. That just sits on the belt, and it's a nice bright red pouch, so that if anyone else sees it, they know that that is the first aid kit. I forgot to mention that earlier. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've got something from it. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, all that kind of stuff, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.